Hi, Mark. Here, Friday, March the 13th, just after 8 a.m. Eastern, just after 12 noon GMT, end of a certainly eventful, volatile trading week. Let's have a look how we stand going into the US session, starting on the dollar index, continuing this week's very strong push higher rally confirmation that the US dollar appears to be the safe haven asset of choice and even tested the 100 mark earlier in the session. I've got support 99.32. I've got resistance 100.04. Tough level, this 100 level. We know that. Let me just zoom out quite some way, and you can see going back how this level has been a support level, it's been a resistance level over and over again, and now again being tested as a resistance level. We'll see whether that holds, whether sellers do bounce down off this level, and we see the US giving up some of those gains, or if the US can maintain at these high levels. 100.04 is the resistance for now. I'm going to have a look at the S&P. Panicky markets, the US stock markets. Buyers trend is down, strong sell-off again yesterday. Fighting back in the futures market today. Wall Street opens up in almost an hour and a half. Small green candlestick today. You can see that after testing lower, 6,688 is support. I do have resistance sitting at 6,760. We'll see where the buyers do. If there is demand for US stocks and they do bounce up off this support area, continue what we're seeing here once the US session now underway and Wall Street opens up and get back to that 6,800 or higher. Or if we see panicky selling, like I believe we saw yesterday, which could well develop once the US session underway now, and sellers look to continue the sell-off and look down at the support area. Gold attempting to fight back. Gold's been relatively stable, certainly against a strong US dollar, and the inverse relationship hasn't really played out. Gold has held its own, come down that little bit, sell off yesterday, looking to fight back today off the 5,056 support. I've got resistance at 5,130 for now. The ascending trend line I've had in place since the beginning of February is holding. We'll see if buyers can bounce up off this level, look up at the 5,200 or higher. May well depend on the performance of the US dollar. Alternatively, if sellers carry on from what we saw yesterday, test this 5,057, certainly the 5,000 level shaping up to be pivotal, and we'll see whether sellers can get to that level, the 5,000 level, and then look to break below or go lower, or if sellers can bounce up off this area and look to recoup some of the earlier losses from yesterday, get back to that 5,200 on the upside. Brent oil, understandably extremely volatile. I don't think it's the technicals at this point. I think it's all about the fundamentals and the new developments that are upon us every single day now. New statements, new developments, new rhetoric, and the physical action we're seeing in the area. I've got support at 98.53. I've got resistance at 102.79. Looking to yesterday, we saw over $100. Today, we've seen over $100, now sitting in that 99 range. Unsurprisingly, that $100 mark could end up being pivotal. Buyers will look up at the 102 or higher. Sellers looking to maintain below that 100. Relatively flat today, and we'll see, being the last day of the trading week, I have no doubt there will be activity, there will be volatility, and we'll watch these levels for now. Bitcoin Bitcoin put in a nice run this week, the fifth green candlestick you can see. And let me just move my support up. Support sitting at 70 and a half, 70.4 thousand. Resistance 72.6. That's around a 2,000 range for now, but solid green. And demand for Bitcoin at this stage, we'll see once it breaks, if it can get to retest the 72 and a half, get higher. Once it gets higher, perhaps renewed interest and demand for Bitcoin. If we get a turnaround, we know how tough this level is. We've seen it sell off before. Sellers could look to bounce down off this area, and then we'd be looking to get below the 70,000 again. We'll watch and see today, Friday, during the US session with Bitcoin, if that demand can continue and if there are buyers at this level and perhaps a real breakout to the upside. We'll watch that through the course of the day. Good trading, keep that discipline, and I'll see you at the end of the day.